And let me conclude and turn it over to Kamala, who says, what the hell am I doing with this guy right now? But all kidding aside, I've known you my whole life, most of you. I've worked with you my whole life, most of you. I've been around doing this for a long, long time. I don't always get it right, but I always take responsibility. When I get it wrong, I acknowledge I got it wrong. But my overarching objective, if we cannot make significant progress on racial equity, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Bernie, some of these people have been out here since 2 o'clock this morning, so the aliens aren't scheduled to arrive before noon. But as you can see, the crowd is getting pretty excited as America prepares for its first encounter with space since NASA went bankrupt back in 1998. It's quite a circus.
Thank you, Stryker. Of course, we will go back to Plymouth Rock the moment the aliens are sighted. In other news, the Environmental Protection Agency has added Hartford, Connecticut to its list of cities to be evacuated by year's end. Carcinogen levels there have topped those found in Baltimore last year. The gap between black salaries and white widened. Wait, something's now happening at Plymouth Rock. Stryker.
As you can hear, Bernie, there's definitely something going on now. We can't see anything yet, but this humming is definitely growing louder. You know, ever since the alien signal was first received some 3 months ago, speculation has run rampant as to their appearance, size and shape of their craft. Oh my God! Clearly, a spacecraft of this magnitude nowhere right over our heads. This is absolutely amazing. This is literally an unbelievable sight. You know, as I look to my left, I see Vice President D'Amato and Secretary of State Buchanan approaching the microphone. For those of you who are concerned, President Taylor, of course, is safe and secure in an undisclosed bunker until it's determined whether or not the aliens pose any threat.
Hello. Hello. Is this on? Can you understand me? I'm the Vice President.
We are space traders bearing exquisite gifts that will restore your nation to its former glory. Nearly limitless quantities of gold and precious metals that will instantly erase your deficit. Machines that will renew your rivers and your air. Cold fusion technology for a safe, cheap, and inexhaustible source of energy. All we ask in return is the delivery to our vessels. 5 days from now, every child, woman, and man in your nation with at least 2,500 milligrams of melanin in their skin per square centimeter.
What the hell is melanin?
Put more simply, in trade for solving all your most pressing domestic catastrophes, we are asking for every person in your country that you would classify as black.
Are you kidding?
No, we are not.
What are you going to do?
Well, that does not concern you. We give you 5 days to decide, and the offer is non-negotiable. We will not try to coerce you in any way, yet I hope we can do some business together.
We wait all this time for a fucking UFO and they come here with this? It's all bullshit, right?
Maybe. Maybe this day is going to go down in history. An end to poverty, end to pollution, cheap, unlimited energy for every American. Sounds like a hell of a re-election platform.
Sam, I have to go on record as saying this is crazy. But
But what?
well, Welfare rolls would be cut 40%. Food stamps, Medicare, drug abuse programs slashed.
May I add something, Mr. President? You know, if I could guarantee the prosperity of this great country by giving life or taking off of those space traders, I'd do so without a moment's hesitation.
You know, the Secretary's courage is not unlike that American men and women have exhibited when called to military service. Well, some go more willingly than others, but almost all go with the knowledge that they might never come back.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. Doesn't anybody see a downside to this?
You know, Casper's absolutely right. The guilt that many whites would feel for sending the blacks away could take a severe psychological toll, with medical costs possibly reaching astronomical levels.
This is madness. Our military services would be decimated, depleted of 30% of our manpower.
But with unlimited energy, think of the weapons you could create.
Mr. President, Sam, you were elected by the slimmest of margins. Your African-American vote was key.
I don't expect them to be thrilled, but how can I put this delicately? Their future electoral clout is going to be severely limited.
Casper, let's be honest. Do you really think the aliens will treat them worse than we have?
No, the real issue here is spin control. The decision has to be the will of the people and not the administration policy.
How about a national referendum? Have MCI fire up a couple of those yes and no 900 numbers.
I'll be damned. We're on to something here. Professor Golightly, you look like you want to say something.
Gentlemen. As you know, Mr. President, I have been a lifelong card-carrying Republican. I feel I was instrumental in your moderate wing wresting control of the party from religious extremists. I have often supported this administration's repeal of affirmative action legislation, not protested its decreasing handouts to the poor. And in helping you undermine these policies, I realized that your reasons for doing so differed from mine. And yet I was always a good soldier for the party. I sincerely believed and still believe that Black people need to learn how to stand on their own 2 feet without the crutches of governmental legislation. But I'm afraid I must protest in the strongest terms possible what I've heard in this room today. What is being proposed cannot be passed off euphemistically as selective service. At its best, it is group banishment. At its worst, it is utter and complete extermination.
Professor, that's ridiculous.
Wait. Did I miss something? Who said anything about exterminate? The space traders seem perfectly nice and civil. Their planet might be one great big Club Med for all we know.
Sam, we do not even know if these creatures can deliver on their end. You and I play poker together. What if they're as good at bluffing as you are?
Now you're whistling Dixie. I look like a damn idiot if the aliens took off and left me nothing but a big bag of tortilla chips. We'll ask them for a peek at the goodies. And if they're not BSing, we'll schedule a national referendum on the night before their deadline. Call up MCI, ask them to fire up 2 yes and no 900 numbers. Gentlemen, lady.
And let me conclude and turn it over to Kamala, who says, what the hell am I doing with this guy right now? But all kidding aside, I've known you my whole life, most of you. I've worked with you my whole life, most of you. I've been around doing this for a long, long time. I don't always get it right, but I always take responsibility. When I get it wrong, I acknowledge I got it wrong. But my overarching objective, if we cannot make significant progress on racial equity, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
What is good, my people? We are live, back again on this live broadcast. Yo, what's going on? Slang Nocturnal, Seymour. Yo, I appreciate y'all for listening. You know, I know a lot of y'all probably up, you know what I'm saying, waiting for Santa Claus to come, you know what I'm saying? But you know, make sure he get tested before you let him in your house or whatever. But you know, I'm just coming on here to let y'all know, you know, that the enemy never sleeps. So, you know, I'm just coming on here to make sure that they know that we don't either. You know what I'm saying? This this war goes on all day, every day. And even though I'm not even gonna be on here long, I don't plan on it. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat real quick. But you know, if nobody come on here, I'll show a few more screen shares or whatever. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all probably putting milk and cookies out right now, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, just make sure you don't let them in, you know what I'm saying? Or tell them to set it on the front steps or something, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if he got the shot or not, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if he got the jab or not. So we got to be careful out here. You know, of course, we can't go to work with the jab, so Santa Claus can't come in the crib. What's going on, Brother Supremacy? Well, YouTube blocked my channel, you know what I'm saying? So whenever I can post videos again, I'm gonna post them. But all of those videos are on here. But like YouTube didn't block my channel. That's why I'm on this channel right now. So whenever I can post again, I'm gonna do another one, even though they might block me again, you know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all subscribe to both channels. But yeah, let me just say this, you know, like we don't even realize that we are in a state of war, right? Because there is all the evidence that you need. Now, they realize that this is a war and we worried about a new world order, which is already here. Winter is here. You know what I'm saying? And we worried about a new world order, but we haven't even conquered or did anything about the old world order yet. You understand? But we are so scared to call ourselves black that we do every single thing to run and try to escape from it. You know what I'm saying? Escape from who we are. We say if we call ourselves this, then maybe we'll be all right. No, it's not about any of that kind of stuff. Because the people that we are dealing with are straight psychopaths. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, so I want to share like a couple of screen shares before, you know, people come on here to you know, let y'all know what we really dealing with here, you know what I'm saying? So hold on, let me do this screen share. Seymour said, nah man, I got my shotgun waiting for that dude if he drops through the chimney. Yeah, facts, you know what I'm saying? If somebody coming in your junk, you know what I'm saying, you are legally have the right to fire back, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in the courtroom with the judge hugging the person that killed you, you know what I'm saying? So you are in your rights to defend yourself. That's an American concept. And I want you to see who these people are because they never sleep and like what we are dealing with. So, you know, let me do this real quick. All right. And let me share the screen real quick. All right.
This morning, an intriguing tale of an FBI informant's secret double life spying on the Ku Klux Klan in North Florida.
My former name is Joseph Moore. I was a confidential informant for the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force from 2007 to 2017.
Joe Moore tells the Associated Press not only did he don a white robe and a hood as a hitman for the KKK, but he also wore a wire for the FBI to expose the white supremacist group.
If the KKK had a target, it would be me.
The U.S. Army veteran and father of four says he even attended cross burnings and helped foil a murder plot in which a black prison inmate was targeted by 3 Klansmen who are current or former guards at the prison in Lake Butler, Florida.
I want to make sure that y'all are happy with this.
Moore alerted the FBI, then captured secret video recordings that led to those Klansmen being convicted. Moore also claims the men were actively recruiting new Klan members at that prison. But Florida's Department of Corrections tells the AP that's not true, adding the department found no evidence of wider membership or a systemic problem, and saying the more than 18,000 corrections officers should not be defamed by the isolated actions of 3 individuals. Moore insists the hate group has strong ties to law enforcement in Florida and Georgia.
I uncovered people that were former military, current military, former law enforcement, current law enforcement.
We were unable to get comment from Georgia law enforcement officials. Moore says he is coming forward because he believes publicly discussing his story is the best way to protect himself and his family. Andrew Rhiannon.
Thank you, Christine.
It is one of the most read stories on News4Jax.com today. A Jacksonville man has come forward saying he was an undercover informant for the FBI for a decade, posing as a member of the Ku Klux Klan. He told his story to the Associated Press after he says people connected to the Klan found him and his family, even though they all had assumed new identities. Here's News4Jax reporter Ann Maxwell with what else this man told the AP.
Army veteran, father of 4, and FBI informant.
My former name is Joseph Moore.
He told the Associated Press he was an undercover informant from 2007 to 2017, posing as a member of the Ku Klux Klan in North Florida.
So when I'm with these guys, I'm in that character. I realize that at any moment, I could hear a bang.
He risked his life wearing a wire and sometimes capturing video to help federal agents find white supremacists in Florida law enforcement.
From where I sat with the intelligence laid out, I can tell you that none of these agencies have any control over any of it. It is more prevalent and consequential than any of them are willing to admit.
In 2014, his attention turned to a murder plot. 3 Klansmen who had worked as prison guards wanted a black inmate dead, and they wanted Moore's help. The AP reports by that point, Moore had risen to the rank of Grand Nighthawk. The FBI created a fake photo of the inmate's death, and Moore recorded one of the Klansmen's reactions.
I want to make sure that y'all are happy with this, and that this is what y'all wanted. Okay? Oh, yeah. Okay.
The 3 former prison guards were convicted of first-degree murder. Moore's identity was exposed during the trial. He says he and his family live in a constant state of danger, with Klan-connected people even showing up at their house in recent months.
We have local law enforcement fully aware of the situation. They've been here multiple times to ensure that we're safe.
Moore's revelations have cost him a lot, and he says there's more work to be done when it comes to weeding out violent extremists in our institutions.
So I know that I was on track to uncover more activity in law enforcement, but the immediate threat to the public with the murder plot was a priority, and I was only one person. There was only so much I could do.
We haven't been able to get in touch with Moore today, but he told
Right. And Seymour said he don't celebrate Christmas, you know. And yo, and this is not against nobody, and I should have said this at the beginning. It's not against anybody that celebrate Christmas. Like, you know, it is what it is. Everybody entitled to do what they want. You know, like at the end of the day, you know, is another chance to be with your family and to do things with your family. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta shout out Erica Howard, you know what I'm saying, for sending me that video that at the very beginning. That was an interesting thing. And everybody should look up Cosmic Slop Space Traders. You know, that's what it is. But and the shout out to Brandon Baxter for sending me like these stories, and Bakari, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Blue, you know, just cause. But anyway, you know, this right here, you know, I'm showing this to show that these people never sleep. This is in your law enforcement. This is in every branch of society. This is how they operate. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what you call yourself or what you feel like you are or whatever your ideology is. What's going on, brother Bakari? And I don't know if you was already on, but the link in the chat, like I said, I probably ain't gonna be on. I know y'all got stuff to do, but I just want to come on here to let y'all know that, you know what I'm saying, my presence is still here, you know what I'm saying? And we got a couple of good shows coming up. Hopefully I'm gonna set up with some with the brother Ben about his platform, so they don't keep blocking me, so I can do the premieres, brother Supremacy. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people rather see that, you know, I understand. But y'all got to understand that's just one symptom of it, these police shootings. And that's just the, I'm surprised you got one, bro. But yeah, this channel is less blacklisted than the other one. But, you know. But, you know, notice that when he infiltrated the KKK, they were in every branch of the society, right? And I'm not even talking against the KKK. I'm talking about we need to have our own people in every branch of society and protect and the ability to protect ourselves, you know, in the ability to feed ourselves, the ability to give money to each other, because every part of their society. And Bakari, let me know if you want to come on, because I'm gonna probably do like another screen share, and then you know, kind of just go in until, you know, we go off. I don't plan on being on here late, you know. So let me know if you want to come on before the screen share. Shanique Ford, how you been? It's been a while since I seen you. How you been doing? I appreciate you for coming on. And anybody can come on. But, you know, these people never sleep, and it's in every layer of their society. You understand? So, yeah, Bakari, hit like 1 or something if you're still there. And I'll wait until you come on and show the screen share. But see, you know, we are the only group of people that are afraid to identify as ourselves. We're afraid that we'll be called an extremist. And that's the thing that we are running from. That's why a lot of people are afraid to say that they're pro-black, even though they are black and they are pro themselves. So by definition, they would be that. I'm pretty sure they are pro their children. But a lot of people is scared of that label of identity extremists. But these people aren't scared to be who they are. because these Jewish people, if you wear all those curls and stuff, those Jews, those white European Jews, right? Just by the way they dress, that's an identity extremist. Because the fact that we are black and they make that a target, that's what makes it a threat, while so many people are scared to identify as that. And see, we can be tough and big with each other, but when it comes to them, you are scared to show the stuff that we are supposed to show. Because I don't know if y'all seen that cop that got charged or whatever. Then in her mugshot, she on there smiling because she got her stripes. They might as well get the teardrop tattoo. Because for them, it's earning stripes. And we can see that it's all in their institutions. They operate as a gang. And see, we can't even in our own tribes, we can't even cooperate in our own tribes. Like the Hebrew Israelites can't be one big Hebrew Israelite group. The Christians can't be one big Christian group. Moors can't be one big Moor group. They have to break even into that. And then we're going to ignore the overall theme that we are in this situation because we are treated the way that we treat. We have a common experience. One of being subjugated because of the way that we look like. But we think that saying something else, calling yourself multiracial, we don't want to be a tribe, my brother. Right? The obstacle, yeah. We are afraid to be a tribe because who we are is targeted, and it has always been targeted, right? Because when you say you are, and this is not to pick on my brother, I don't know if you still be listening, but this is just the mindset that our people have. We would call ourselves multiracial. I'm not black, I'm multiracial, right? I would call somebody like Kamala Harris multiracial. Not you, young brother. And, again, I don't like to call out individuals, but that's a young brother. And, I still call him a young brother no matter what other people think. But we're going to say, no, I'm not black. I am this, I am that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they tough with each other, but scared of the white man because they know he will shoot. Exactly. Black people are soft targets. That's exactly the point, right? Because they took the biggest, strongest person and they beat him down and make an example out of him. The obstacle to us being at full potential is that we do not separate and step out on our own, loving our blackness. Exactly. We try to escape our blackness. We try to be everything but black. Do y'all notice that we are better Arabs than Arab people are? We are better Europeans than Europeans. We are better Asians than Asians. But when you say, oh, are you black? No, I'm not black. I am blah, blah, blah. Insert ideology. And you're talking about an ideology. Like, we aren't proud to be who we are. We are trying to escape it because there is no repercussions for what happens to us, but there'll never be repercussions until we start enforcing them. But y'all got to understand, no matter what you call yourself, no matter what you do, those same repercussions are going to come down on you until you enforce it otherwise, right? And how gangster are we? Right, because if we was and it's really us looking at it through the eyes of white supremacy, right? Through the eyes of Europeans. Because if we was really the killers and the savages and the thugs that they claim we be, none of this stuff would have lasted a week. And now you got two brothers who will go outside and fight each other over a block that none of them own, kill each other even. Right? Shoot each other's family house up. And then when the police pull up, everybody running. When the person who owns the block pull up and get the police to kick them off the block. when they could have just worked together and they could have took the black, because you know how they took it. They ain't be like, oh, let me come in here and buy this and buy that. No, they came in and said, like, I'm gonna take this by blood. I don't care. Right? They're not African, but African Americans. And we can come up with some negative about all of these labels and stuff, because like even before people start getting into these debates, I ain't like the phrase African American, that because that means to me an African that has been Americanized. But see, a lot of us have been Americanized. A lot of us have been Europeanized. Right? We were a tribe, but us as a tribe, didn't necessarily identify as black. This whole people knew that we were black, but different tribes wasn't necessarily on the same page. That's how they was able to get exploited. But the same thing happened with Europeans. It's not a unique thing. But see, Europeans were able to have this thing called the Berlin Conference, where they said, let's stop slaughtering each other to see who can get the most people and land. Let's work together and we can get more, because most of Africa was not colonized until after the Berlin Conference. And people don't even know that. So when they start working together and they develop their technology. But, we got our children thinking the only way out is to, play basketball, sell drugs or something like that. But we got to start having people, and that's why I want the brother Ben to come on, people who are able to develop our technology. Get our young people into developing, weapons to what's going on, my sister Raw? But get people to develop, right. And the thing is, we try to run from that instead of embracing ourselves and each other and realizing that we're all we got. We try to separate ourselves, thinking it's going to separate us from that blackness, right? Like if you say that I am not, what's up, Bakari? You said, I wonder if it's too late for global black unity because a lot of black people have done so much to damage their own. Bakari, let me say this real quick and then I'm gonna let you go in because I've been ranting, but I want to say this, because everybody keeps saying like global black unity is impossible. Can we get all black people? Let me say this one thing right now. Like, it's not about getting every single black person on the same ideology, the same mindset. That's not what it's about. Do you think every white person agrees with the system of because there are some white people who would fight back, even though they want the truth? Is like those white liberals don't want the system destroyed, but it's about a system being put in place that offers protection whether they want it or not. If a white person disagrees with a white system, but they go into Korea and they do something, well, they desecrate their stuff, you know what I'm saying, while they over there doing the Olympics, right? They're not gonna let those Asians punish them. They're gonna say, no, bring these 32-year-old children back to America where we'll punish them ourselves. It's not about trying to save everybody or have this kind of thing. It's about building a system that offers protection, that offers a way to feed ourselves, that offers a way to, give us economic freedom, whether you want to identify as black or not, because this is about a global war. But what's going on, brother Bakari?
What's going on, man? Look, I was reading the end of that chat, and he said it might be too much to give. What it says, I wonder. Let me put my glasses on, make sure. I wonder if it's too late for global black unity. First, I wanted to touch on that, but you were saying, see, it's not all of us. See, that's what we have to think about, right? The all of us we need is the all of us that want to unify. The other ones don't worry about it. We got to build with the people that want to build right now, with those of us that want to build. And those of us that want to build, once we start building, the other ones will join. And by the way, before I continue, peace to the chat, man, and thank you for letting me come on and speak. The ones of us that want to build, we build and we take care of our business the way we're supposed to while we're building, the rest of them, everybody else will come along. Now, he said it's too much for us to forgive. And the crazy thing about that, a lot of us believe that, my brother. But think about who we have forgiven, and have we done more to ourselves than other people? The first ones to come in and enslave African people. Have we done more to ourselves than what the Europeans have done? Have we? I would say no, but they are forgiven. We shop with them every day. I understand your question. So, but what we shop with them every day. We spend money. We speak their languages. We choose their religions and practice it better than them. When it comes to the Arabs, when we pray, they have to pray in an Arabic language, because if you don't, according to the Quran, that if you don't pray in an Arabic language, Allah don't hear your prayer. Now, all of those people have been forgiven. We have forgiven those our women have forgiven those Vietnamese that beat our women inside of their store getting their nails done. We have forgiven the Koreans who shot the black girl in the back of her head in California because they thought she was stealing. We have forgiven everybody for everything except ourselves. And I'm going to keep harping on this because it's easy to fight what's at the bottom. The whole world sees us as nothing. We're nothing. They walk on us, spit on us. We're worthless. Everything about us is useless except our ignorance or stupidity, whichever one you want to call it. And I'm saying the way we spend our money with them. But all of that has been forgiven. All of that has been forgiven. And what he said, he made I think that's a profound statement. Because you find a lot of black people that say that, all of us. So, brother, supremacy, and everybody else in the chat, don't worry about the ones that don't want to be a part. Let's worry about the ones that want to be. We build it, they will come. Forecast used the Europeans as the example. So I'm going to ride with that example. And I agree, I haven't either, right? So when he used those Europeans as an example, you see them fighting, going to wars all the time. Did y'all see how they stormed their capital on January 6th? Go back and look and see who started all the world wars. They were fighting and killing one another. See, they got us talking about, oh, black people too tribal. But obviously they're tribal. They constantly kill each other all the time. Everybody is, when we have gotten so caught up in that, oh, we're too tribal, there's tribes everywhere you go. Every group people had tribes. Have you all ever heard of the Anglo-Saxons? Who's the Anglo-Saxons forecast? From what they tell you here, who would be considered an Anglo-Saxon?
Like the English and all of that stuff.
British people, right?
Right.
But those are two different tribes, the Anglos and the Saxons. Study up, look at their history. Two different tribes, the Anglos and the Saxons, came together to protect themselves. In Ireland, they call them clans. I think that's what they call them. Ireland and Scotland, they call them clans. You look in China, they have tribes. They speak 5, 6 different languages over in China. Those Orientals don't all speak the same language, but for some strange reason, we think that we have to do everything perfect, and all of us have to be exact. We have to speak the same language. All of us got to get on board. No. The ones that want to be on board gonna get on board, and we gonna build it. And then we're gonna build it. And that's what we need to be working on toward. The ones that want to be a part. That's what we need. That's what we need. The ones who want, and we all have something to offer. All of us. From the head to committee and all of the bodies. The military. Everybody has something. Everybody has something to offer. Everybody. And that's what we have to work on, what we have to offer. But no, brother supremacy, I didn't see what he was putting Inky address live on YouTube. I've seen people do that though. I have seen people do that. And that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Go it's back to you Forecast.
Yeah, and I agree with you, brother Bakari, because obviously, like when black people talk about forgiveness, and I'm not saying anything. I'm talking about on a general level, right? Because it's crazy how a person can run up in your house and kill your brother while he watching TV, while he eating ice cream, and then you'll go into court and forgive them and hug that person, and the judge will come down and hug that person. Or somebody can go into a church and then shoot like 9 elderly people while they're praying for him. And even though he don't ask for forgiveness and say this was an act of war, black people will be like, yo, I forgive him. Now let me come on here and step on brother Bakari's shoes, or say, or just come on here and be disrespectful or put somebody's address on it. I'm never going to forgive you. First of all, you wouldn't even put somebody else's address. You're afraid to call somebody else out by their name. And we aren't afraid to call ourselves out by our name. We aren't afraid to put other people's business out there, and we're not going to forgive each other to do it. Now, if somebody else come in our community and open up a store and sell us poison and stuff like that, it's cool. We can let them ride. But if a black person come in with a business and they may be underfunded and then not be as big as some other corporations that have been around, well, we're going to make fun of this business and get it out of here. We're not going to support it. We are worried about saying all these black businesses, but like my brother Bakari was just telling y'all, everybody has been a tribal people. But see, they understood how to group their tribes together under whiteness. And we are afraid to put our stuff together under blackness. No matter what you want to call yourself, if you aren't willing to do business with black people globally, you are always going to lose, because whether you believe you come from Africa or not, do you believe that Chinese come from Africa? Because they're definitely trying to get into Africa right now. Do you believe that Europeans come from Africa? Because they're definitely trying to get into Africa right now. But you are trying to get out of your own community and go to the suburbs instead of helping build up your own, what's going on, K-Shaw? Instead of building up your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't even want to stay in your own community amongst your own people, who is your own tribe, who you tell is this. How you gonna tell me that I'm something and I can trying to tell you that I'm something, and we just don't want to come together under the blackness in response to the terrorism that has been put on us? Not that we started it. We were the one that said, oh, look at the pale face, come on in, my arms is welcome, can I feed you, can I clothe you, let me give you a goat, let me give you whatever I got. It was them saying, oh, well, look at all the resources they got, they don't even know what they got, let me sit here and make them think they love me and I love them, and the whole time I'm gonna give them this religion, these ideologies to fight over, while I'll take their natural resources and I keep them in this trick bag. And Bakari, I don't know if you seen the other video, the other screen share I did before this. Did you?
No, I haven't seen any screen shares. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right, I did one. Do you want to see it? Because I showed it. It's just like a news clip about the guy showing the KKK and the police and everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Before you show it, right? Did you remember the black lady who married the guy who was in the KKK? So he changed his ways.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, then you had the black guy that go to the KKK rallies.
Yeah. Hey, and Bakari, I'm gonna let you go in because I gotta find it again if you want to see it. If not, I got one more. But I don't know how late you want to be on here. So let me know if you want me to get it or not.
I can be on. Look, I'm gonna be on here for a second because I got the. Well, I'm gonna go get in my car, and I'm gonna be live on my phone. I have to go meet a friend somewhere right quick.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna just hit the link from my phone. Let me make sure I see it in my phone, because sometimes I see it on the computer and it ain't on my phone.
Yeah, I can put it in there one more
Oh no,
time.
I got it. I got it. No, I got it.
But yeah, you can go ahead. I'm gonna pull it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna watch it right quick before I bounce. Go ahead, before I get in my car, so I know what it is.
All right. Go ahead and talk, and I'm gonna pull it up real fast.
All right, what were we talking? Oh, we were talking about them people with the with the KKK and how easily some people are forgiven. Y'all ever seen the guy H.K. Edgerton who marched from North Carolina to Texas waving a Confederate flag? The black guy. What did he say? The black man and the white man was always brothers, even during slavery. Slavery ain't what people said, what people thought. You know, that's
Nah, my bad, Bakari. Go ahead.
Are you good? Go ahead and play it. Go ahead and play it.
This morning, an intriguing tale of an FBI informant's secret double life spying on the Ku Klux Klan in North Florida.
My former name is Joseph Moore. I was a confidential informant for the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force from 2007 to 2017.
Joe Moore tells the Associated Press not only did he don a white robe and a hood as a hitman for the KKK, but he also wore a wire for the FBI to expose the white supremacist group.
If the KKK had a target, it would be me.
The U.S. Army veteran and father of four says he even attended cross burnings and helped foil a murder plot in which a black prison inmate was targeted by 3 Klansmen who are current or former guards at the prison in Lake Butler, Florida.
I want to make sure that y'all are happy with this.
Moore alerted the FBI, then captured secret video recordings that led to those Klansmen being convicted. Moore also claims the men were actively recruiting new Klan members at that prison. But Florida's Department of Corrections tells the AP that's not true, adding the department found no evidence of wider membership or a systemic problem, and saying the more than 18,000 corrections officers should not be defamed by the isolated actions of 3 individuals. Moore insists the hate group has strong ties to law enforcement in Florida and Georgia.
I uncovered people that were former military, current military, former law enforcement, current law enforcement.
We were unable to get comment from Georgia.
All right, yeah, Bakari. It was another one, but I ain't gonna show the other one. It was basically saying about how they was a part of the police or whatever, the KKK. But yeah, go ahead, my bro.
Yeah, that's what they just said. None of that surprised me, especially when they say military. Shit, I was in the military. You meet them all the time. And I'm going to tell you something, right? You can see them. But when you see them out here in a tactical gear and training and doing all this military training, they literally will send their kids to the military to become infantry or field artillery. They would do that 3-4 years so they can bring that knowledge back to them. That's what they do. So yes, you will see people like that all the time. And of course, they're in the police force. There are probably doctors and lawyers. They're in the ambulance. They're everywhere. Because me personally, I say all of them the same. Even the one that you might be cool with. I'm saying you, but I'm not talking. You understand what I'm saying? Even that one is just cool with you. But how is that one with other black people? Huh? Man, look, we got to get off of this. We are the world bullshit. We got to get off of this power to everybody. We want everybody to have power. And we're in a war. And ain't nobody ain't nobody in a war to fight for a tie. We in a race. Ain't nobody racing. Did you see when Usain Bolt ran on the track? Did you see him say he wanted to be in a tie with a softer power? He wanted to win. He wasn't racing so everybody could be in a tie. We all win. No. We have to stop searching for equality, stop begging for equality, and start searching for power. And it's just that simple. Just that goddamn simple, pardon my French. And if we don't want power, we might as well sit down. If we are not searching for power, you shouldn't be out here anyway. Because any leadership, as Marcus Garvey say, any leadership that teaches you to depend on another race is a leadership that will enslave you. And that power to the people, and we gonna all fight this system together. They are teaching you to depend on other people. And any leadership that teaches you to depend on another person is a leadership that will enslave you. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now I yield the mic. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna get in my car and get in my truck and get on it on the truck. All right.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Do your thing. But yo, I wanted to say this because I don't know if people was listening. Because go at the end of this, go back and listen to the beginning. You know, the clip I was playing, and shout out to Erica Howard for sending me, because everybody should look up Cosmic Slop Space Traders. You know, like that is an interesting whatever it is. You know, so I think everybody should look that up. But yeah, it's one more screen share that I want to show, because you know, like I said, I don't want to be on here all night, but let me show this last screen share.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Kat Uriarte. My partner, Pat Simon, is off tonight. 2 teenagers are now facing charges for what prosecutors are now calling a hate crime. The teenagers are accused of dressing up like KKK Klansmen and then shocking a black classmate with a taser. Our Seth Kovar joins us now live in the studio. Seth, those charges are pretty severe.
Yeah, they really are, Katya. If those two 17-year-olds end up getting convicted, they could go to prison for years. Now, by Texas law, they're being tried as adults, and their charges are enhanced because this case is considered a hate crime. It was an unusual day at Woodsboro High School. Just before noon, police arrested 2 students for an incident that supposedly happened back on Halloween night. 17-year-olds Noel Garcia Jr. and Rance Bolchik are accused of dressing up like Ku Klux Klansmen, cornering a black classmate, and shocking him with a taser. Attorney Matt Manning is representing the alleged victim.
He is good as far as the last time he and I spoke. He's always in great spirits, and I'm glad to hear that. In terms of his reaction to the arrest, I haven't had a chance to speak to him, so I'm not sure.
Around 10:30 this morning, a Refugio County grand jury found there was enough evidence to send Garcia and Bolchik to trial. Their indictment says an underage girl was also involved. And since there were 3 of them, the misdemeanor assault charge is considered engaging in organized criminal activity, a state jail felony. They're also charged with tampering with evidence for supposedly burning clothing, and it's Manning's understanding that the clothes are the KKK-style robes. The indictment also accuses Garcia and Bolchik of targeting their alleged victim because he's black, enhancing the charges to a hate crime. Manning applauded the investigators, including the Texas Rangers, and the grand jury for today's developments.
This indictment is proof positive that at least the citizens of the grand jury in Refugio County saw the evidence, saw that the evidence was indisputable, saw that what my client said happened did in fact happen, and they are now going to bring to account at least 2 of those people who were involved in that crime.
The president of the Corpus Christi chapter of the NAACP agrees with them.
I do believe that the grand jury in the Refugio County did what was absolutely necessary.
Well, Katya actually got to talk to the alleged victim himself today briefly. He didn't feel very comfortable doing an interview, and we cut it off before I got to see how he feels about these arrests happening. Also talked to the superintendent of Woodsboro ISD, but this is a student issue, so he really couldn't give me any comments.
Which is why the ISD at this point, can they do anything? Is there anything because this has come to light?
Right. Well, again, the no comment today, but he has said previously, since this alleged hate crime happened off school property, school district really can't do anything at that level.
At this level, not yet. More to come. More to come. It's just so sad to see, though.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right. So, look, I understand that you may not want to identify yourself as black, right? And I get that there has been a stigma around it, right? Everybody loves black culture, but nobody wants to be black. I get that. But it doesn't matter in the real world when somebody is like, they be like, race is a construct, you know what I'm saying? Racism is a construct. And I do say the word white supremacy because we are in a society that has been constructed that gives somebody else, oh, that's what's up, Pelage. But we are in a society that's been constructed that gives somebody else an advantage over us. And still, most of the time, we thrive and we exceed expectations, only to be told that what we do is not good enough. And I get that you don't want to be associated with that because you feel like it's easier to not classify yourself as that. And that way you can escape that stigma. But the system of white supremacy, the system of racism, whether it be a construct or not, it becomes reality when somebody takes action against you because of that. When somebody targets you because they perceive you as a black man, as a black woman, it becomes a reality, not just a concept no more. Not just a social construct. Now we are dealing with the real world. Now you have to have some type of response. And we see it's not just with the adults. These are 17-year-old, and one of them was named Garcia, because you know how other groups like to be associated with that. Because when we say power to the people, right, to all the oppressed people, can you go to their country and they give you power? Right? Are you saying in your society they should have a say, in your issues they should have a say? Because I can tell you, all of these other groups see you, and it's a hatred, it's a jealousy, and there's a reason why they're so obsessed with you. See, hate is an emotion. See, we only access that emotion when it comes to each other. But they found a way to not access that emotion with each other because they can direct it towards us. And no matter what you think, what you say, no matter what you feel, you cannot escape it. Because it's reality now, and there's no running from reality. Yo, I appreciate that, Pelage. And once it become reality and you don't set boundaries and you don't enforce those boundaries, the next thing that can happen is total collapse. And we are at the position of total collapse because what is your last name? In the words of Malcolm X, I don't know my last name. It's gone. I don't know my language. It's gone. And you can classify yourself as something else all you want, but guess what? To them, you are extremist. See, none of us know what Ahmaud Arbery's ideology was. He could have been a Moor. He could have been a Hebrew. He could have been what people classify as a coon. He could have been against black people, a Republican. He could have been Black Power. He could have been a Pan-African. We don't know. But what they saw was a man with enough melanin in his skin to be classified as black running down the street. So automatically he was a threat. Automatically he was a problem. And they love to say, oh, the society has been changed. It was a father and a son. And we see on that last video, it was children. I think this is a call. I'm not sure.
Call from Pelage.
Yo, what's going on, Pelage?
Hey, what's up,
you doing?
I'm good, bro. How you doing, man? How you been? Y'all appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, man, forecast it's it's no big deal, man. If I had more, I'd give more, man. Well, first of all, I just be taking calls. Is it okay? Is that all right? At the right time I call right now, is it okay?
Yeah, you good, bro?
Okay. Yeah, man, I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah, man, it's been a while, since I chatted with you, man. I have to say first off, man, your premieres are awesome. I love the information that you bring to the people. Okay,
Thank you, bro.
and I'm serious though, man. I really sincerely appreciate it, and
And Pelez, hey, let me say this real quick. Let me say this, cause I'm blocked on my other channel, and that's why I can't do the premieres. And like right now, it got 2 strikes, so they'll take the whole channel down if they try to give me another strike. But that's why it's important. I'm gonna bring another brother named Ben who created his own website, and we're gonna try to like get his stuff off the ground so we can like put YouTube out of business.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, Focus. Listen, man. Like I said, I have nothing to hide. I want to, my whole thing is I want unity with our people. But you don't have my number or anything like that. Number, email. I don't know. I really don't know how to get a hold of you outside of this channel, what have you. But how do I? If once this happens, I can put my number in the chat if you want it.
Hold on. Hey, is this the number you called in?
Yes, that's the number. You can text me or whatever, whatever you want to do, man.
And Paulette, and by the way, this for anybody too. All of my information is in the description. Like my email address is in the description, so like anybody can email me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's in the description.
Right. I was trying to, well, it took a while back. I forget what I was trying to do. I know something got bounced back, but, whatever. But it really doesn't matter. But, my thing is, though, Focus, here's what I'm trying to, people need to have the wherewithal. I'm not saying you listeners, you have some good listeners. But for me, we need to have the wherewithal. You dropping the knowledge, it could be like $5, $10. People can just bless you with. Okay? I love my people. I love Black people. I understand that. A lot of things happen to us, man. A lot of things, self-hate and all that stuff. But for me, I have the wherewithal to give you a few dollars, because you have a lot to say, man. Oh, man, listen, you're more knowledgeable than me, brother. You've got a lot. I'm telling you, man, I listen to you. I listen to your podcast, the things you drop, man. When I'm driving on the way to work, man, I listen to those things, man. You the Chicago riots, you just going crazy. You just telling stuff, all those things. And it excites me because I want to listen. I want to learn more, I want to learn more. But for me, I don't have time. You know what I'm saying? I like listening to you live, but I love you premieres. I just love it, man. But for me, my brother, sometimes when people come on in your show, on Brother Bakari's show, I'm seeing a lot of arguing. And I'm thinking to myself, why? There's a lot of, just pettiness. Because we are emotional people, you know what I mean? But I just we gotta leave the pettiness behind. And we gotta keep moving. We got to keep moving forward, And I don't know, man. I know, I'm all over the place, my brother. And I'm telling you, man, if I had like $200 million or something like that, man, you know, you would be one of those person, like, you know, that's gonna be my inner circle. That, you know, you would be fully vetted and everything. And because the thing is, though, man, we need to take care of each other. We have to, man. It's just like, I you know, for me, guys, you know my story just a little bit. You know, I was into like an interracial marriage and stuff like that, and I have a son. But for me, man, I believe, you know, Black people have to, globally, we have to stand together. If we don't stand together, all the killing is still gonna happen, man. Like the lynching, we're going to somebody who's like abusing us, but we begging for justice. It doesn't make any sense, man. You know, like you're seeing all those like superstars, the NFL, NBAs. You know, like it's just like no more. Let's stand up together and say no more. We don't need to lift up a finger. We don't need to lift up. We don't have nuclear weapons. All we have to do is just like we're not playing anymore. I don't care. No, it's just like we're not doing it anymore. I mean, how, you know, what is it gonna take? What is it gonna take for us to just stop this? You know, and it's like I said though, it's sad, and we have to beg. I mean, like I know, like Ken Carter got, you know, convicted and stuff like that, and it shouldn't be like that. I mean, you're talking about Emmett Till. You're talking about like glancing at, you know, with, you know, like allegedly looking at a white girl. What happened to him? The police didn't get involved. He got murdered. And you know, I've listened to you. I listened to other stories. When other people would be in jail, they would get him out and lynch him. We better than this, man. And then, you know, you have like so many sports stars, like you have like so many like commentators who's just like for an example, like Candace Owens, man, and there's this brother, you might know who he is though, Anthony Brian Logan. You know who I'm talking about though?
Yeah.
You say yes, you say?
Yeah, I know what that is.
Man, that guy is, I mean, him and Candace, and I mean, that guy is sick, man. Sick. I'm telling you, man, some of our people, man, we need to have like a civil war, like a revolution among our people first. You know what I'm saying? It's just, like I said, though, it's sad, man. And some of us like want to stay. I mean, don't make no mistake, brother. Brother Focus, make no mistake about this. Let me tell you something. I am not here to like try to like hide behind like keyboards. And I'm very vocal. I told you that I was involved in an interracial relationship, and and I actually worked. And listen. I know who I am. I know who I am, and I thank God for this. But the thing is, though, man, it's gonna take people like me to hear your message, to understand your message, and to thank you, and to every once in a while to give you a few dollars, and to thank you.
Yeah.
And I wish everybody can give you a few dollars, and just so you can keep the message going, so you can bring the good news, man. For me, man, there are times, Forecast, where I have like $60. I would give you a little something, and that's all I would have. Because that's it. Because we have to sacrifice. We have to make sacrifices sometimes. We have to. Listen, man, I know I'm going on a rant, but you know, I love our people, man. We need help. We need healing. We need to forgive each other. And like, just at times when I listen, when I don't call into your show, I would just listen sometimes. And I would listen to Brother Bakari's show, and I'm just seeing a lot of fighting, a lot just like this is like so many like people get like their feelings hurt. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why are we fighting? Why are we arguing? Like, let's organize. It doesn't matter if, like, you know, like if we don't agree on something, but we have to, like, the ultimate, you know, the main goal is X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
Like, hi, you know, listen, man. Brother Focus, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. And listen, man, if I don't reach out, man, know that I'm there. And, you know, I'm just, like I said, man, like, I thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
And I'm going to keep on listening, man. And I will, like, if you're going to have that website and stuff like that, man, you have my information. If you, like, I'll put my email on the chat. You can always email me and, like, let me know it's you, okay?
Right,
And
I
I'll
got
put
you.
my email in there. And then, like, and then just let me know, man. I think, you know, you and I, we should, like, communicate, you know, privately, if, you know, if you want to and stuff like that, okay? And I would love that.
All right, I got you, bro. Like, yeah, I got you. You can put it in the chat. I got you.
I will, Focus. All
All
right,
right,
man.
bro.
You take care, my brother, okay?
All right,
Take
you
care,
too.
man. Thank you.
All right, yeah, and I appreciate that, and yeah, and I'm gonna let Bakari go in, and I appreciate Pelej, and like I said, like, yeah, and I'm not gonna be like, yo, don't, but at the same time, like, while we sending our money to a specific location or to a specific person, first we got to start, you know, and that's not to say don't support the people who, because we got to start supporting each other, but we also have to start building organizations, right? And then putting our money towards specific things, you know what I'm saying? Putting our money to make it powerful, you know what I mean? But Bakari, you want to go in? You got something to say?
Yeah, man. Why that guy kept saying I be arguing on my channel? I was like, what?
No, not that.
I don't argue on my channel. I don't know what pledge gets.
Oh,
you got
and
me.
Bakari, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna answer after you go in. I'm gonna answer you, brothers, but you can come on and talk good, bro. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I lost my train of thought. But you know, the biggest thing is the biggest thing, man. I think that hold black people back is black people fear. Black people is afraid. Black people is afraid of everyone else. That's why we're afraid to be black. That's why you have these multiracial people who's black as an ace of spades, but they say they multiracial. They can go back 7 generations and find one white person in their DNA. Oh, I ain't black. Or you have these alternative black people now. That was a new one. An alternative black, because this person who I heard said she's literally trying to be a Korean. She's trying to be a Korean, saying black people shunned her out of the community. No, I told her she just left. And that's our and that's one of our problems, man. That's one of the problems. Fear. We don't want to be who we are. You know, we hate to say we're African. We want to try to stand up for the whole world when don't nobody like you. We the first people on earth. We love this feel good knowledge. We are the first people on earth, and everybody came from us. And for me, that's nothing to brag on. Hypothetically, we were the first people with nobody on earth but African people. And then you got some black people that turned white, some black people that turned yellow, some black people that turned to Arabs. But all those people surpassed the original people. We have to understand true science if we're going to say things like that and get past that we the first people. You know, we get confused when they say the first humans. We understand human is not a race, it's a species, that we were the Homo sapiens. We're not Neanderthal, and that's a different type of people. You know, I'm just going on I'm all over the place. But we have to have a better understanding of who we are and what we are and what we were put here and what we are here for. Or it'll be 50 years from now, we'll be going through the same thing. Or, you know, we like to constantly compare ourselves. What we do is we compare ourselves a lot. We have made white people the gold standard, right? Right? We have made white people the gold standard. So if you're going to use them the gold standard, let's build schools, let's build hospitals, let's create businesses so our people can have jobs. Let's create some type of social program for our elderly, so everybody who's not on the same page, so we can at least feed them, give them somewhere to stay. You know, these little trinkets and things, stuff like that is what that's another thing that hold black people back. And you're right, say we gotta have a civil war. That's what Ross said somebody said, right? We got to have a civil war. And you know what? That's one we always looking, and I know Roy is not saying this, she said somebody else said. So we're always looking to fight ourselves before we fight anybody else. That's our goal. Let's fight ourselves. Let's make ourselves let's make us be the worst ones. We did it first. We did it. We did it. We did it. We enslaved. We enslaved. We enslaved. We enslaved. Everything you talk about, we have to figure out a way to make ourselves the worst. We have to make ourselves the worst of it all. Like Dr. Claude Anderson started, and which was not true. The first slave owner in America was an African guy. I'm like, huh? That's what he said. And that's a lot of Dr. Claude Anderson.
Oh yeah, he was
wrong. And that's some of the things that, because he's another one. He's the one that started, don't call yourself African. You ain't no African, you're a Black American. That's who started the Black American thing. A Black American, Black American, Black American. Completely, we're the only people in the world that want to erase our ancestors, because coming here, being enslaved here, made us great. But our ancestors was nothing. We're African by blood. They forced us to be whatever else it is we want to claim. They force you to be an American. They force you to be a Jamaican. They force you to be a Haitian. They force you to be Trinidadian. They force you to be any of those Spanish-speaking countries from South America. They force you to be a Portuguese, but you are African by blood. And what we are by blood, we're willing to ignore that so we can be something they told us that we are. You understand? We gonna have to have pride in ourselves. We're gonna have to love ourselves. We're gonna have to have respect for ourselves. We're gonna have to be willing to provide for one another and willing to protect one another. And if we don't get to that stage in our life, we won't get anywhere. We won't get anywhere. I hear the mic.
Yeah, bro. I got respect for Dr. Claude Anderson. And but the first slave owner in America was a white person named Hugh Gwyn, is GWYN or something like that. in 1640, you know, and there's a crazy story. The first slave on record was a black man named John Punch. Right now, it was 3 indentured servants, right? Quote unquote, indentured servants, a Scotsman, I think, a Dutchman, and an African. Now, all 3 of them ran away, right? And all 3 of them were caught. And the the Scotsman and the Dutchman, they got lashes and had to do like 2 more years of servitude and something else. Now the African, he got the same lashes and all of that stuff, but he was sentenced to servitude for life, you know what I'm saying? Making him the first slave ever, you know what I'm saying? Even though the 2 white people who were indentured servants, because they like to use that argument, they only got 2 years, he got life. Now they like to talk about the first black slave owner was a dude named Anthony Johnson. That's who they're talking about. You know, he was a black man who had white and black slaves, and this was in 1654. John Punch case was in 1640. So we know 1640 comes before 1654. But in his case, a white person came on his property and told a black slave that he was being kept against, like he was supposed to have been free because he was an indentured servant. So he left. And the white person, and so the you know, the dude Anthony Johnson sued the white person, and he sued to have the black man returned, and he won his case because back in that time, like, you know, they gave, and this was in 1654, they gave him a little bit of respect because what clouds everything, that was like a 20-year period where black people were quote unquote indentured servants. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was racism, even though it was a difference, they were still indentured servants and not slaves for life. You know what I'm saying? And by the time that this dude Anthony Johnson died, he was in Virginia. They took all of his land. He had to move to another state and then even there, they gave his land to a white boy who lived next door to him, which probably was the same person. And so his son wasn't able to take anything that he had, and he lost all his generational wealth. And then by 1660, it was perpetual slavery. So, you know, that whole stuff is a bunch of BS. But anyway, you know, let me say this for brother supremacy. And, you know, because I know people say this a lot, and this is a good question. And you're welcome to come on, bro. It's all good. But he said one of the problems with some black groups is they let agents in, right? And I get what you're saying. And also there are agents who create certain groups, right? Like the NAACP, right? They were founded by Jewish people, and along with people like Ida B. Wells and Marcus Garvey. But Ida B. Wells quickly left the organization when they realized they were only putting white men in charge, right? And then by World War II, nobody wanted to be seen with the NAACP no more. You know what I'm saying? When they first started, black people were scared to be associated with them because it could get them lynched. But by then, they realized they had an agenda, and it was the NAACP pushing this integration stuff. You know what I'm saying? And through Thurgood Marshall, they were the ones who said we aren't equal until we get into white schools. But at the same time, we have to understand that, of course, your enemy is always going to infiltrate you. But when you're on the right when you're on the right path, there's nothing that you can be infiltrated in. How can an agent stop me from supporting Brother Bakari? See, when you have a certain ideology or follow a certain person or a particular leader, they're always going to be slanderous, and they're going to try to, and black people do it more than anything, try to take down a black leader, you know what I'm saying, and say all the things that's wrong with this black leader. But when you build an establishment, it's like Bakari building his business, Raw doing her thing, you know, with the farming, and Erica doing her thing with the bacon, and Blue doing her thing. And we're putting these businesses together and supporting each other. That cannot be infiltrated. When we talk about, and even what I'm talking about, a black, like we can nominate successful black business leader and create a council, because we can't have one leader no more. It has to be councils, and put them in charge of growing black businesses. As a people, we have to understand, like, make sure they're clear about their agenda. We have to make sure that they are clear about what they're doing with the money. And if they aren't clear and they aren't coming through, we have to stop supporting them, because they probably have been infiltrated. But if you build what you have to build, you don't have to worry about an agent stopping you, because if you feel like, oh, I need to, like Adal, my brother Adal Day is trying to work on health. So him doing something to help Black people as far as health and us supporting him, that is building it. Like we are looking for this magical thing, but things are changed generationally. You know, Bakari, I don't know if you're still there. You wanna say something? Bakari might be busy. But yeah, it's generational changes that we have to start recognizing, right? We can't be like, okay, we are we can't be like we are in charge of like we're going to change overnight, right? We have to start educating ourselves, educating our children, you know what I'm saying, to have a different mindset, because the children now don't know nothing but COVID. They don't know nothing but going to school with a mask on. They can't imagine not going to school with a mask on. See, we think that it's going to change overnight, but you got to start addressing the stuff in your own community, and you have to stop being afraid, not you, but us as general have to stop being afraid to call ourselves Black. You know what I'm saying? Bakari, you I don't know if you're there now. You wanna say something?
Yeah, I'm back now, man. I had to told you I had to go drop something off at a friend house right quick.
Yeah, it's all good, bro.
Yeah, you're right. There's gonna always be an agent. That's why you have a vetting process. But because there's an agent, that don't mean you stop trying, right? Because in all honesty, right, if once you be a part of an organization, and they ain't just talking about like one of Black, you be a part of it. Like the military ain't nothing but it's an organization to protect white folks' interests, right? The United States military, that's what it is, right? So you don't tell everybody everything. I was in shit. I didn't know we was gonna go. Well, I didn't go to Kuwait. I got out, but I didn't know that we were gonna go to Kuwait. My unit was going to Kuwait until we had 4 days to get ready. They didn't plan it in 4 days. Everybody don't know everything. You have to vet. Especially today, there's it's easier to do a vetting process. It's much easier today to do a vetting process than it was back then. The agent is going to either come in and cause a lot of confusion by talking negative about the leadership, or come in stroking the leadership's ego, trying to get closer to the leader and make everybody else look bad. That's their goal. So when you see this person coming in causing confusion, you check that at the door. You check it as soon as it happens. But because there's going to be an agent that come around, we can't stop trying to do what we're going to do. Like, I'm going to give you an example, right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Forecast?
Yeah, you good.
You good. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example, right? I'm still out here doing whatever it was I was been doing, right? But I've been investigated by the police for an alleged drug dealer, and I've never sold drugs. They have walked up to me and called my whole government name, first, middle, and last name, right? But it ain't gonna stop me from living. I've been harassed by police, especially after I stood up in city council and speak, and they hear how I speak, right? I was harassed. I got pulled over, man, at least 4 or 5 days a week out of 7 days in my car. I was getting pulled over for no reason. Well, I know why they did it. They wanted to scare me. And then what they did was they messed with my son. It scared him. He was only like 13, 14 years old. But it didn't stop me. I like, who was it? So I called the county sheriff and the city, and my son Of course, he was worried about his life. He's 13, 14 years old, something like that. Only thing they do is make me go harder. Can't worry about the ones who come in that want to mess up everything. Because if you worry about that, you won't ever move forward. Ever. You won't ever do nothing. Never. But we think of reasons. We think of reasons not to go forward. We think of reasons not to go forward. Even with the agent question, it's almost thinking of a reason because there's going to be agents. And so therefore, the past keep us from doing anything. So now you back to the fear of everything a group of people, everything in this country have done to the majority of us in this country. So it keep us, see, they keep us from moving forward because of the past history and everything that has happened. They don't really have to send any agents in today because they have black people on, it's on cruise control now. They don't have to do anything. They did all of their work early, 400 years ago. It didn't stop, but they don't have to do it the way they once did it because they taught us to do it. And when they put that fear in our people, they knew we weren't going to do anything. So, don't need an agent anymore. We really don't. Because they're not worried about us anymore. And all honesty, I really don't believe. Now, they don't, but what I'm saying is, I don't think they're worried about us attempting to move forward anymore or trying to do anything. Because it's as if, because social media has exposed black people, and it's as if the majority of black people is happy with their lot in life. And the majority of black people believe that this is our lot in life and this is how it's supposed to be. So therefore, then we tend to cling on things that they gave us, like Christianity or like Islam. So they're going to make things better so we can get to heaven or to Jannah when we die, because we have it horrible here. There's no way we're going to have it horrible in death. So they don't need to send agents anymore. Everything is on cruise control. They don't have to call us the N-word no more. We gonna do it. They don't have to tell our women that they ain't worth a damn. Black men is gonna do it. They don't have to tell a black man that he's lazy and worthless. Black women is gonna do it. It's on cruise control now. That's why I tell everybody this social media is very dangerous. It can be used for the good and it can be used for the bad. And unfortunately for us as a people, the ones that use it to scam and for the bad and be negative toward black people, those are the ones that gets all of the views. Those are the ones that our people want to donate to, who's not interested in building nothing. You understand? All of this pettiness that Pelez was talking about, but he was wrong saying it was me, because I don't have no petty arguments on my channel. I don't even really do debates. He was wrong saying me, but he is right saying that's what I don't know how he figured it was me. He must have had me confused with somebody, but he was right talking about how we act with all of this pettiness and all of this, I don't like you, and I'm going to prove to you that I'm smarter than you, attitude that we have with one another. And I'll give the mic.
All right, yeah, Bakari, and I'm gonna say this, and then after this, we'll close it out. Now, Brother Supremacy said I believe the reason a lot of human first, I guess that's what he's saying. Human race first, blacks join pro-black group is to try to convince all blacks to love whites. And maybe we should just give up black exclusiveness and buy into the one race ideology. Now, like my brother, I don't know when black people have been on the black exclusiveness thing, because like from jump, right, we've accepted the mulatto class, we've accepted the Irish, we accepted the Hispanics, we accepted the Asians, we've accepted, I mean, even these, not to call it, and it don't really matter, these Israelite groups will accept Mexicans. We've never been on this black exclusiveness stuff, you know what I'm saying? And as far as I feel what you're saying. You're talking about the ones that say they are colorblind. I get what you're saying, bro. And the whole thing with that that ideology is, you said the human race, when really is like a human species, you know what I'm saying? The human itself isn't a race, you know what I'm saying? And I get like the race is a concept, but that would be like like black people would be a race, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess you could say Asians or not. Some people say there's only two races, it's white and black, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of stuff behind that. But right, because we're not colorblind, you know what I'm saying? We understand what's happening, but like what we have to realize is we are not the ones who have started all of this stuff. And
Can I say something right quick, Forecast? I don't mean to cut you off. Can I say something right quick?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
You know why they say there's only two races, white and black?
Why you say that?
Because if you go back when people were first called black and white, as far as I can go back, 3rd century, the whole world was considered white except black people. You see how everybody can just go and be honorary white people except black people? That's how it's always been. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. Well, other people can be honorary white. Everybody except black people. Because the whole world was considered white. That's why a lot of people say there's only two races. And I just wanted to say that. But you're absolutely right about a race being a species.
Yeah, and like Joe Biden said, he said the European whites are gonna be minorities. So, he says two races, humans and human beings. But yeah, like that's the whole thing that we are, and that's nothing but more stuff to escape like the situation we're in. We're not the ones that created the system. That's what everybody is missing. We seem like people seem to be like, oh well, black people started this. We put ourselves in all of this. We did not create a system, a concept of Hey, Bakari, hey, you'll put it on mic mute real quick. Okay. Thanks, bro. But because we always get to the point where we talk about we need a black civil war to end the stuff in our stuff, but then we never get to the part where we end the root of the problem. Like we always be like, yo, let's end the sneeze. We got to stop sneezing. I know I got the flu, but first we got to address this sneezing issue. No, the issue keep coming up because we only want to have civil wars in our community. And guess what happened when we in Haiti, when they had their revolution? What happened? It was the mulatto class and the black class that fought, and it led to their destruction. Right here in America, we can never be on the same page because everybody got a different kind of group, you know what I'm saying? But we all experience the same thing. And then we want to say power to the people, you understand? But we aren't going to give power to the people. How can we when we are under them? You know what I'm saying? We tried to rock with the Jewish people. We said, let's be one. We still saying let's be one. We're saying, thank God that my son got killed because all lives matter. You know what I'm saying? And now my son being killed can make a difference. Never mind the last 400 years of children being murdered that did not make a difference. And it only doesn't make a difference when we don't do nothing about it. But we got people up here talking about, thank God my son was killed. Now people can realize that all lives matter. right? We are the ones sitting here trying to explain our position like, oh, when I say Black Lives Matter, that doesn't mean white lives doesn't matter. Who cares? We are the ones sitting here talking about when I say the police are corrupt, I'm not talking about all police are bad, just some of. Who cares? They all uphold the system, and we all know where the police was founded from. Even the black cops, especially the black cops in some cases, because those are the ones that are more gun-ho in some cases because they're trying to fit in with this system. We are the ones saying, I forgive you because that is the best thing to do for humanity, right? But they are saying, well, OJ killed this white girl 35 years ago and he needs to be locked up for 10 years for stealing his own football cards. They say anything he say is a problem. They still want blood from OJ. And guess what? The glove didn't even fit. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say about that. But they aren't going to forgive OJ. But you know what? The next week, we forgave Dylan Roof. And we are the ones having the same press conferences. If you go back and look at Emmett Till's mom and what she said, and tell me what's the difference from Tamir Rice's mom and what she said. But we are the ones that always got to be like, oh, well, all lives matter. I'm not saying racism. I'm not saying all white people are bad. I'm saying I want their society destroyed because their society is based off of our destruction. And there's no way we should be paying them tax money. We should not be funding our own oppression and fighting to be a part of it. Right? Because they're mad at this brother, that young brother went to the HBCU. Right? Now, never mind the University of Georgia, right? Just 50 years ago, you know what I'm saying? People were spitting on a black man for trying to walk on campus. Right? Never mind all of these white universities not wanting black people to attend. He should have just went to a white school and said, the hell with the HBCU. Right? Never mind that he plays cornerback, and the best cornerback arguably in the history of football is his coach. Now he just needs to go to a white school because that could possibly influence a young person. Yeah, but he said we need a black nation, land governed, owned by us only. The ones that, and that's the thing, people can do what they want, but see, what we don't realize is like what somebody like Ryan Silly don't realize, when he got targeted because he was black, right? Because he thinks he's multiracial, and this is, again, no diss to him, much respect to him still, you know, no matter what he got to say. But any one of us could have been in that position when Henry Louis Gates called the police because he got locked out of his own house. Any one of us could have been in that position because there is no system in place to protect us. We say we should give our coons away and let the enemy punish them. Do you think America would let North Korea punish their coons? No, they're going to bring them home and punish them themselves. See, we can kill each other and do all this stuff on the street, but we can't have a system of justice in place for our own people because we let somebody else take control of that. But yo, Bakar, you want to go in? You can go in as long as you want. As I don't even want to get off here, but it's like 2 hours now.
You know what, man? I'm gonna be honest. I don't even have much to say. You said shit. You said everything. You really. But speaking on that, maybe we should just give in and stop trying to be black exclusive. See, that's the problem. We too easy to give up. They're just like, you know what? With everything that we've been through, black people the first ones to give up their nature, their natural instincts. Everybody
Bakar,
in the world.
I'm sorry, Bakar. Let me ask you this: who was the one that came up with the Rainbow Coalition?
That was Jesse Jackson, or what, Fred Hampton them and Jesse Jackson, the Black Panthers.
Yeah, and then after that, who was the one that made it national?
Jesse Jackson.
Was it a white man talking about some Rainbow Coalition, or Asian, or Hispanic, or anything else? Who was it? Were there black people or white?
They were black folk. I think that, can you hear me still? Because my phone lose service right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And that's one of our problems, one of our biggest problems. We are afraid to be black exclusive. We don't want to be black exclusive. Look, black people are being, what's the word? pushed out with everything except spending your money, right? Like I said, they want our ignorance, they want our stupidity. They want us high on their weed, smoking that bullshit on the street. They want all of that, right? They want us to have all of that. You look at the TVs, our black women is being moved out by mulattoes. You understand? That's the representation of, have you ever seen a movie called The Hate They Give or something like that? You ever heard of that?
The Hate They Give is old.
No, But I watched like the first 3 minutes. You know why I only watched 3 minutes? Because it's a little mixed race that's playing the black girl who receiving hate. We sit back and we allow everything to happen, but we want to look at our flaws and make everything be our fault. That's why you find these people trying to figure out on their channel, what did African people do during slavery? They had something to do with it because they are afraid to deal with the people here that's doing it to them now, and that's been doing it to them for 400 years. So if we go back before we ever got on that ship, before they ever put us on that ship, let's talk about what black people did. Because if you say something about them white folks, they'll come to your house with a lynch mob. That's the history over here. That's the history over here. They'll come drag you out your house. That's the history over here. So we gonna have to fight each other.
Hey, Bukhari. Bukhari, you still there?
We being.
Hey, Bukhari, if you can hear me, you going in and out. I can't hear you.
You understand?
No, hey, Bukhari, we couldn't hear the last couple of things you said for like the last minute or so. It was going in and out.
Oh, for real? Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you
Can you hear me
good
now?
now. Yeah, you good now. Yeah, you good now.
Yeah, you good now. What I was saying is, I say we don't want to fight back. I say, have you ever heard them say, it's too many of them, they'll slaughter us, right? To complain about being slaughtered anyway. Look what they're doing to us. But then we turn around and want equality, and we're going to fight for everybody. We the only people in the world that want the game to end in a tie. We the only people in the world that was set. White people taught you, this system taught you was nothing but the N word, but we the only people in the world, as far as I know, sit and want to use and accept derogatory terms toward one another and make it seem like it's okay. Then say, there's a difference between the black and the N word. Or either it's a term of endearment, or when I'm getting ready to kill you, it's F-U-N word, die N word. You understand? Yes, we have work to do. And like the show we just did, there's no better time than the present. The time is now for us to link up and say, this is what we're going to do. And if you don't want to link up, why come around people that want to link up? And those people that come around, and I'll say their name, but I'm on your channel, so I don't want to say their name.
You good, bro?
The multiracial people.
Yeah, it's
the
good. I said it already.
The alternative black people. Why do you come around people that's looking for black people to come together if you out here trying to be a Korean? if you're out here trying to prove that you're every race on earth, don't just call me African. Don't just call me black. I'm not. What's the purpose of coming around? See, I'm going to tell you something. Now, this is back to we let too many agents in. Those people like that, or I'm the Aboriginal, don't call me that. We are not the same thing. Okay. But those people, they come around and we allow it because we want to unite with black people. I just want to unite with the ones that want to unite. The ones that don't want to be a part. I don't want no woman thinking she can join the organization that I'm in. She's black, but she's alternative black because she wants to be a Korean. No alternative black people. No multiracial people. That I'm talking about for me. When we set up, man, you're gonna have to tell these people no. Or it's gonna be constant confusion. Just like when that other kid come on the show. That's why the last time he came on, I told him, look, this is what we talking about. If you can't talk about this, we don't want to hear that other stuff. Because it's constant confusion. And we allow it. We have to stop all these fake black folks from coming around because we want to unite, because we want them to do better. No, they have to go out here and get beat up and spit on and have a dump taken on them and pissed on and all that, and come back with all kind of apologies before they can just be a part. Because, like I said, this back to now we are allowing people in who don't want to see you come together. We are allowing people in that want to cause confusion. And they're coming in and not even hiding it. They're letting you know who they are. They don't even hide it. But we feel not alternative black, not multiracial black, just black. Have to be. Because everybody else have their own. You go to I'm gonna be an alternative black and go to Little Cambodia. I'm gonna be an alternative black and hang out in Koreatown. I'm gonna be an alternative black in Chicago and go hang in Jewtown. Or I'm gonna say all power to all people, and all these people got all of their neighborhoods and everything set up, and they don't give you nothing, but yet and still we still asking all power for our all people, but they ain't trying to give you none of their power. If that makes sense. So I yield the mic. My channel is Brother Bakari. Were you about to close out?
Yeah, close out, bro.
Oh.
Hey,
Hey.
yo,
Look,
Bakari.
man, I think everybody for listening. I hope that's
Hey, Bakari,
Go-
say that
go
again.
ahead,
'Cause
go
you,
ahead.
Hey, Bakari, say that again, because you're going out.
Okay, I say I thank everybody for listening. If y'all hadn't heard of me, you heard of me now. If I said anything you like, subscribe to the channel. If you don't go subscribe to come around anyway. You don't have to subscribe. Just say you want to be a part of Team Black because if you subscribe to Forecast, that's good enough. Come, listen, come be a part of Team Black and understand what we're creating, the businesses that we're trying to create, what we are creating, and how we're going to do this thing for the future. We about to make some moves. We already starting to make them. They're small, but we taking baby steps, but now it's time to take giant leaps. Forecast, I thank you for allowing me to speak on your panel, man. And I thank everybody in the chat for listening. Till next time, peace and
Hey,
one love.
Hey, Bakari, before you go, yo, do you want to mention, because you mentioned Emmett Till early. Do you want to mention the young brother we talked about last time? Bakari? I don't know if Bakari's still there.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I said, talking about the brother that's in jail.
Yeah, what's his name? Yeah, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Man, I'm in the. Okay, you know what? I got a raggedy phone, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good now.
His name is Malachi Mapata. Let me see if I can put it in the chat. Oh, I can't put nothing in the chat from my cell phone. Malachi Mapata, MPATA, 16 years old, accused of rape. Even though he got 4 eyewitnesses, and one of them is an adult that worked at the school, that no, he did not force that girl in the restroom, but she said he did, a little white girl. He's in Cobb County Jail at age 16 with no bail. So we need to call. We have to look up and see how many alleged people who murdered people. You got murderers get out on bail, but he's 16 years old. He's locked up, no bail. So we need to start calling. He's in Cobb County Jail in Cobb County, Georgia. Malachi Mapata, MALACHIMPATA. That's how you spell his name, in Cobb County Jail. And that's what we need to do what we can. Time to go visit him. That's what I'm gonna have to do, if I can. So once again, man, I thank you for letting me on forecast, man. Till next time, to everybody, peace and one love.
All right, thanks, Bakari. And hold on 1 second. I'm gonna put his name in the chat real quick. Let me get it so I can spell it right. You know what I'm saying? All right, and this is the young brother down in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? They arrested him off the word of a little black girl. I mean, a little white girl. You know what I'm saying? They put his face and name all on TV, even though he's 16 and haven't been convicted of nothing. You know. So you know, that's his name right there. So, you know, we gotta support that young brother. And Bakari, to answer your question about why they come around our community, bro, it's simple. It's because if we build it, they will come. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I know, like, and I'm speaking as a black man because I'm a black man. We complain about black women and all this stuff, but we also haven't built a society, you know what I'm saying, where they can be themselves. And black women, you know, that's not to say black women don't have flaws, because nobody is perfect. You know what I'm saying? But they keep coming around because if you build it, they will come. We just trying to escape our blackness, you know what I'm saying? And us going at each other and only having smoke for each other tells the tape, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, and this is why I'm like on this coon thing, is a slippery slope, you know what I'm saying? Because okay, is coons we agree on. Sheriff David Clark, we all can agree, right? So then you start getting to people like Candace Owens, you know, who's, I think she don't believe what she's saying, but that would be technically a sellout. Okay, people can agree on her, right? Then Jesse Lee Peterson, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree on him. But guess what? Back in the day, there was a person named, like, who said the same kind of rhetoric as Jesse Lee Peterson, named Booker T. Washington. Now, today, some people call him a coon. Some people say he wasn't, because he was supposed to be secretly funding a rebellion. You understand? But again, it started getting to, but the more you get to it, because then we're going to start saying, well, if you don't support black-owned businesses, right? Or if you only go to white businesses, right? But then we can start getting into the question of, are you a coon if you only attack black people and don't go at anybody else? Right? If you only diss people, if you kill a black man, if you sell drugs in your community, are you considered a coon? Because then we start getting to our family members. Are you willing to sacrifice your mom if she's labeled a coon? See, it's a whole slippery slope when we start getting into this. But that's why we have to start having definitions for the stuff that we do. You understand? But you know, I'm not gonna keep y'all on here all night. I know y'all probably waiting for you know, Santa Claus to come, you know what I'm saying? Wake your children up to let them know that a fat white man then brought them some toys or whatever. You know, but don't let him in the house unless he done got his shot, you know what I'm saying? Unless you wiped everything down. You know, I know y'all probably done set the milk and cookies out there already, you know what I'm saying? But this year, maybe you should make Santa leave it on the porch, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, if we're going to be talking about holidays while we here, you know, and by the way, before I say this, shout out to Erica Howard, and everybody needs to look up, this thing called Cosmic Slop Space Traders. You know what I'm saying? I played that at the beginning, so go back to the beginning and listen to the intro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Erica Howard for that. And yeah, shout out to but yo, when it comes to like Christmas, you know what I'm saying? What we need to start doing is celebrating some historic stuff that happened on Christmas here, like in Jamaica was the Baptist War or the Christmas Rebellion, you know, which was an 11-day rebellion in Jamaica, you know, and it was considered the largest slave rebellion in the British Caribbean. Now, this happened because during Christmas, the quote unquote slaves wanted to still be off and spend time with their families and do all of the stuff that they was doing, because during Christmas they got the time off, but the white people wanted to put them back to work. Now, the Jamaicans, you know, they was led by a person named Samuel Sharp, who had limited freedom. He could move around the island, especially on the holidays. And they used church, because now we just go to church to be like, praise Jesus and let's pray for our enemies. But back then they used church to discuss actual revolts, you know what I'm saying, to plan what they were going to do, you know what I'm saying? And even though they used the Bible to fight back, not to talk about turning the other cheek, not to talk about love for everybody, not to talk about we are the world. They was talking about the verses where stand up and fight. So on Christmas Day, when they tried to make them go back to work, they refused to go to work. Now, a lot of y'all wouldn't do that right now. If they tell y'all got to work today, y'all go right in. Y'all complain, but y'all go right in. But these slaves, they'll refuse to go back to work. Now, when they rebelled, you know what I'm saying, they ended up setting sugarcane fields on fire. You know what I'm saying? They start attacking white people. You know what I'm saying? They but the thing about all of these revolts, black people have always had this ideology of don't just kill them. You know what I'm saying? Save them if possible. You know what I'm saying? Only kill when necessary. But they would just go around lynching you just because. You know what I'm saying? But they use guerrilla warfare tactics because it's not about going head up. It's about fighting smarter. You know what I'm saying? And they use these guerrilla tactics where they attack where they caught the enemy off guard. You know what I'm saying? When they were outnumbered, they didn't fight them. When they had the numbers, they attacked them. You understand? But hundreds of people were killed, right, for freedom. And they try to be like, yo, Shanique Ford. Okay, yeah. I'm about to get off. I appreciate you for coming on here, Shanique. Yeah, watch that movie. It's only like 30 minutes or whatever. It's on YouTube. And yeah, definitely. I'm about to probably watch it too. But I appreciate all of y'all for coming on here. Shanique, brother, Supremacy Raw, always, you know, I always appreciate your support. Chucky, Pelej. Yo, shout out to my brother Pelej, K Shaw, you know, my brother Slang Nocturnal. And definitely shout out to my brother Bakari. I put his channel in the link. We did a show on his show earlier. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just here to let y'all know we ain't taking no days off, right? Winter is here. We should have been making the moves that we have to make before this, right? But now winter is here. And we can continue to go 50 years from now where we have all of their poisons injected into us, right? And who knows if it's gonna cause reproductive issues because we see the issues that they're having. But understand the situation that we're in. So, I want to go out and play one last thing before I go out. And like I played it earlier, but I want to go out and play it one more time. So let me know if y'all hear this.
And let me conclude and turn it over to Kamala, who says, what the hell am I doing with this guy right now? But all kidding aside, I've known you my whole life, most of you. I've worked with you my whole life, most of you. I've been around doing this for a long, long time. I don't always get it right, but I always take responsibility. When I get it wrong, I acknowledge I got it wrong. But my overarching objective, if we cannot make significant progress on racial equity, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. Hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
All right, so you hear that, this old white dude who's always been racist stuff telling us, oh, well, these Hispanics make up a larger percentage than y'all fools, you know what I'm saying, than y'all N-words, y'all niggas. And y'all gonna have to work with them or America is doomed. But guess what? It's doomed anyway. Because a lot of us have that different mindset. And now that winter is here, it's either time to, or get off the pot. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we don't have no other choice. Other groups are using this pandemic to position themselves to be in a better position globally. We have to start positioning ourselves to be in the right position. We're not even there locally yet. But once we understand that we are all we got and we start loving ourselves, then the rest is easy. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody that can infiltrate it. There's nobody that can stop you. And they recognize the FBI, America, period, knows their biggest enemy is you. They created the FBI to stop you. They created COINTELPRO to stop you. They created the Black identity extremists to stop you, because no matter what anybody else does in the world, no matter what position that we are in the world, we are the biggest threat to their system. And that's why they put the most resources into protecting their system and to keep us on autopilot of self-hatred and destroying ourselves. But all we have to do is not change who we are, but turn that energy outward on our enemy, to the people who created it. Right? Start there, one step at a time. But I appreciate all of y'all for listening, man. I know y'all gotta set them toys out for y'all kids, man. I appreciate y'all, but we're gonna be back later. But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.